So this lecture is going to deal with the development of one of the largest major world religions around today, that's Christianity. So that Christianity begins in Rome, in an eastern province of Rome that you see right over there in the hot pink called Judea. And the time that Christianity began was a time of political unrest in Judea. There was some anti-Rome feeling going on there at the time. The founder of Christianity is Jesus. He lives about 2,000 years ago in the province of Judea that you saw on the earlier slide. And he gains this big following. He has various things that he teaches, which we'll get into in just a second. And he is executed. He's executed by the Roman authorities who view him as a threat to the state. So Christianity actually begins as a movement within Judaism. It begins, he's Jewish, and it begins as a movement within Judaism that then was going to pick up momentum following his death. In a nutshell, here are some of the very basic precepts of Christianity that were taught by Jesus. That the inner self is more important than simply just following the letter of the law. That the meek shall inherit the earth. So he had a big focus on sort of regular / poor people. Humanity, love. Concepts you're probably familiar with. This contrasted with the Roman ideology that you see down there. The Roman ideology as it existed with their polytheistic religion. The Roman religion is very similar to the Greek religion, by the way, except you just replace Zeus with Jupiter. And in their religion, it was in their philosophy, it was violence which brought victory, which brings peace. Whereas the message being taught by this new religion is that nonviolence leads to justice, which leads to peace. So again, it's a big contrast here in this new movement that comes up. As I said earlier, Jesus is executed by the Romans when he's about 33, but the religion does not die with him. And the man at least partially responsible for that is this gentleman here, Paul. Paul is a Jewish Roman citizen, and he spreads Christianity throughout Turkey and Greece. You see his travels up over there. He writes he will travel to a community, convert some people to this new to Christianity, and then move on to the next community. But he'll write letters back to them about what is the best way to live and stuff. And some of those letters make up what is today the Christian Bible, their holy book. Some of it, the later parts, are written by this gentleman who's also responsible for spreading the religion throughout that area up there. That's where it begins, but again, that's not where it ends. It's going to spread further than that. Rome actually had a pretty good history about being sort of okay with other religions, but they're not very nice to early Christianity. Early Christians faced persecution. Nero, our guy from the last lecture, who was playing music while Rome burned, or so the legends say, he executed a fair number of them. There was a lot of early resistance from the Roman elites to this new religion. We can speculate as to why. It's possible that it's because of what I had said on the earlier slide, that their philosophy was very different. It's possible that it's because they resisted calling the emperors gods, which the Romans are sort of skewing to at this point in history. They don't call the emperors gods when they're alive, but it's like when they die, they become gods. There, it happens a couple times. It's a little bit strange, and the Christians aren't into it. So maybe it's that. Who knows? The point is, early Roman governments are not very fond of the Christians. But despite the resistance of the government, the religion continues to spread, continues to get more popular, and it actually gets popular enough. Many of the citizens are becoming Christians, that the government eventually turns around and does a 180. Constantine, who's the emperor that you see right below me, he proclaims official tolerance of Christianity, says, you know what, fine, we're going to be totally fine with Christianity now. Constantine, later in life, will actually become a Christian himself, and this all sets the stage for Rome actually totally switching around and adopting Christianity as its official religion. Oh, the Edict of Milan that's up there, that just is the title of the proclamation by Constantine saying, you know what, no more going after the Christians, official tolerance of Christianity. So the Edict of Milan proclaimed that. That's the one that proclaimed the tolerance of Christians from Rome. As I just said, Constantine, he's the first Christian emperor, but not the last. He is the guy, again, that sets the stage for Rome actually. They say that they're tolerant of it under him, and then a little bit later they say, you know what, okay, actually we're officially a Christian empire now. And they get so fused that even today, the Roman Catholic Church gets its name from Rome, from like Rome. And the, Pope and all them live in Rome because that was like then, right? These guys right here, they were, they just sort of became like the capital kind of Christianity, or at least according to some. So the importance of Italy to Christianity is all because of these guys over here and them, again, turning from, hey, we have to attack the Christians, to, hey, you know what, no, we're going to be friends. We're going to be them. And this is just a map. I like maps. Christianity begins in those very dark red areas, and then again, over a couple hundred years, it just spreads and spreads and spreads, and eventually by 600-ish, all of the orange areas there are all have quite a few Christians. Many of the leaders are Christians, and it becomes a very powerful, religion, influential one, that it still is today, 2,000 years later.